Welcome, folks, one and all, to Let's Play The Legend of Grimrock, released in 2012 for the PC, and later for Macintosh, Linux, and iOS. Legend of Grimrock was developed and published by Almost Human Limited, and is a dungeon-crawling adventure in the vein of Eye of the Beholder, where you can get a default party or generate your own party, and send them through Mount Grimrock in search of their freedom. For all have been pardoned that are thrown into the dungeon of Mount Grimrock, but none have survived to enjoy that freedom. Maybe we'll be the first! Or maybe not, considering the fact that I'm controlling them. So without further ado, let's go into a new game and generate a party, because you can use the default one, or you can make your own. And while the game gives you the option of not having auto-mapping, I like having an auto-map, so we'll keep that. The game then throws you immediately into making a party. You have to make a party of 4, and you have to click to add a prisoner. And technically we could start the game right now, but we'd be in a pretty bad situation as we haven't assigned any skill points, any points for our additional stats, or any traits. So we'll start from the top and work our way down. The first character is indeed going to be a fighter, and is indeed going to be a human, and is going to be called Heather. Heather is going to be a sword-using fighter. There are many different weapons you can use: axes, maces, swords, and unarmed combat, which we may be experimenting with someone else. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at all of our stats. Strength is the physical prowess and strength of the character. It increases attack power and carry capacity. Whereas dexterity allows you to move quickly and perform maneuvers that demand accuracy and a keen eye. Vitality is basically health, and also allows you to basically bulk up your resistances to cold and poison. And willpower is your force of mind, and allows you to have a higher energy bar, and allows spellcasters to use their magic more freely before they run out of energy. Heather here is going to have a nice mixture of abilities. She's going to have an additional 4 points of vitality. You can see her health and her resist cold and poison going up. We're also going to improve her dexterity, and we're going to improve her strength somewhat. And now we're going to give her some points in sword. Humans start with 4 points. Insectoids start with 1, or 3 skill points rather, but it's Minotaurs that start with 1. I got them a bit mixed up there. But after generation, every single character gets 4 skill points every time they level. So we're going to give Heather a lot of skill with swords here. And as you can see, when we got to the 4 skill point level, we gained an additional point of strength, which is always good. As for traits, we're going to give her the healthy trait, because it improves her vitality by an additional 2 points. And we're going to give her the agile trait, which improves her dexterity, which is always nice. And so, Heather is now ready to go. And now we're going to pick a new character, a Minotaur. A Minotaur who goes by the name of Malgrav. For Malgrav is a fist fighter, and we're going to build him as such. Let's see here, we're going to give him a lot of vitality here. I would say about, let's see, 4 points. We've given 3 points, actually. Vitality 17, pretty impressive. We're going to improve his accuracy somewhat by, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 points. There we go. And strength by 2. Willpower is not that important. And also, as you can see, Minotaurs have pretty good, cold and poison resistance here, mainly because of the 17 vitality. And the 1 skill point that Malgrav is going to get is going to go into unarmed combat. Eventually he's going to get a lot of quite powerful abilities, especially when combined with the fist fighter trait, which increases his attack power by 6 when unarmed. He's not ever going to be armed with a weapon, and a special trait that only Minotaurs can get, which is Headhunter. For every skull that Malgrav keeps in his inventory, not in a bag and not by anyone else's, nobody else is allowed to hold on to it, Malgrav will gain +3 attack power, and that's pretty good. The third character actually has the exact icon that I want him to have, and he is going to be a rogue called William. William is going to be focused almost exclusively on ranged weapons, specifically missile weapons here, and that gives him +1 dexterity before we even start. And so we're going to give him a lot of vitality here. I think we're going to give him 6 vitality and a fair amount of strength. There we go. And as for the traits, we're going to give him the healthy trait. You'll notice that every single character except for Malgrav is going to get that. And the aggressive trait that provides more attack power. There we go. Quite good. The final character here is going to be a mage, and is going to be an insectoid mage, only known as Eyes. Eyes is going to most certainly be focused on spellcasting, but first we're going to need a lot of vitality. As you can see, mages don't have a lot of health, so we're going to have to make sure that that is boosted here. 2 willpower and 2 dexterity. And let's see, you have 3 skill points here. Firstly, we're going to do the traits. We're going to have a point in... Also, insectoids get the natural armor ability, which is protection +5, which is not really that great. I'm not going to be picking that. We're going to be picking healthy instead. And we're going to be picking strong mind, which gives even more willpower. And more willpower means more energy, and more energy means more spells. As for our ability to cast things, we have 3 points. We could get Spellcraft here, which is actually quite useful. It provides even more willpower. We shall do that, just to get willpower +1. And then 1 point in air magic, just the bare minimum so that we can cast the first spell. There we go. That's not so bad. Also, the game does say that in order to learn a spell, you will also need to find a scroll explaining the runes. That's not strictly true, as if you remember what a spell, how you cast it, you can then cast it anyway. And so without further ado, our party is complete. Heather, Malgrav, William, and Eyes. Will they survive Mount Grimrock? There's only one way to find out, folks, and that's to tune in next time, whereupon they will fall unceremoniously into the first part of the dungeon. Maybe they'll survive. Who knows? Who knows? I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.